So obviously Sonic Frontiers is getting closer and closer, and things are getting more interesting when it comes to reveals of the game. We've seen a lot of Kronos Island, we've seen a tiny bit of Ares Island, and a tiny bit of the Volcano Island, which I think is called Chaos Island. But I want to briefly discuss the final two islands that we haven't seen yet. We also have some brand new screenshots featuring Knuckles, Tails, and some other things that we haven't seen yet. But before we get into all of that, hey, you there. Yeah, you watching. There's 49,000 people that keep coming back to these videos. I don't really have 49,000 subscribers. Since you guys keep on coming back, why not hit the subscribe button? It really helps out the channel, and so that way you don't have to miss anything. Thanks guys. So first things first, let's talk about the screenshots. In the first new screenshot, this looks like it's on Chaos Island. You can tell because of the ground is like gray and volcano-ish. This looks like a big structure, and obviously there's a dash panel there. And on the side, I can't tell if that's a cyberspace throne or something we just haven't seen yet, because it doesn't look exactly like one. It looks kind of unique. And Sonic's standing on some kind of platform. Maybe it's a puzzle of some sort, because it looks like there's an arrow on it, and there's an arrow on the thing that Sonic's standing on, but it's pointing in a different direction. Maybe it's some kind of interesting puzzle that we just haven't seen yet. Next up, we have Sonic fighting a boss in Ares Island, and I believe this is the grind rail boss, because you can see the thing in the background with the long white grind rail, where you can use the side loop in order to connect it fully in order to attack the boss. That's exactly what this is probably, and it's just a screenshot of that boss. Then it looks like Sonic is fighting a tower enemy, but this enemy I believe is a stronger tower enemy because it is slightly colored like purplish red pink. The color of the enemy changes the more powerful Sonic is, so this is probably later in the game. There's also a new structure in the background that we haven't seen. It's like a cylinder structure, but there's like a gap in between the middle, so there are more structures similar to the diamond structure that everyone has been, talking about. And it looks like there's a Death Egg robot hand in the background too. So that's pretty interesting. So I'll be interested to find out why those things are just sitting there like that. And then we have Sonic parrying a bird. That's the same bird enemy that we've seen him riding in the previous trailer. So maybe you parry or defeat the enemy, and you can tame the bird and fly them around Volcano Island, or I'm sorry, Chaos Island. I keep calling it Volcano Island. I think that's going to be a really cool mechanic. Hopefully it's not like automated and you can actually control the bird. That'd be pretty cool. But if they don't let you control the bird for reasons such as like they don't want you to get to places where you shouldn't be yet, then that's understandable. But overall, I think the bird is a really cool looking design. Almost looks like a nobody from Kingdom Hearts 2. And for our last two screenshots, we have a 2D Sky Sanctuary level. I can't tell what level this is based off of. Maybe it's the Generation Sky Sanctuary. I have no idea. But it's Sky Sanctuary at least. And then Sonic on a grind rail on another huge structure actually, and I can't really tell what this is. I don't think we've seen anything like this. Can't even tell what island this is on, but it's indeed an interesting looking structure. So as long as there's more of those kinds of things like the diamond structure, I think it'll be kind of fun having those in the world. But wait, obviously there's more, because in the thumbnail there's Knuckles and Tails. So Knuckles is sitting on Ares Island, it appears, and Tails is sitting on Chaos Island. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the final islands is because it's kind of strange. Because on Kronos Island we save Amy, on Ares Island we save Knuckles, and on Chaos Island we save Tails. And there's two more islands in this game that have not been seen yet in the slightest. Well, actually, that's not true. It was teased in the vinyl cover that one of the islands is actually a water/ice island. But outside of that, we don't really know exactly much about the last two islands. So this is my theory here. Who are we saving for the last two islands? Knuckles, Tails, and Amy are on the first three. Is there going to be new characters? Is it going to be old characters? Maybe the stuff they just haven't revealed. What if Shadow's here or something like that, and they're just having surprise characters on these last two islands? I think that would be really, really cool. It would add twists to the story, because I think a Sonic game having twists is not something that happens that often. So seeing something cool like that would be, honestly just great. Or maybe we don't save anybody on the last two islands, but I think either way, it leaves for room for speculation of what's going to happen. My own possible read/theory is that maybe Sage again isn't truly the main villain. We end up having to save Sage, or at least on like the second to last island or on the last island. But on the other island that's not, filled up by a slot, maybe there's some story reason where Sonic has to end up getting saved. Obviously, you probably wouldn't be able to play this part, but it would be like a cutscene of like Sonic's friend saving him. I think that would be an interesting play on it. It seems like a game where Sonic might get character development, which is very odd to say, but I'm pretty interested to see how it all goes down, if I'm being quite honest. All in all, this is all the new information that I have for you guys today and my thoughts, of course. I'm really happy to see Tails and Knuckles in the game, even though they're like little cybernetic holograms. But even still, they're in the game. This is our first time seeing Knuckles in the game too as well, so that's cool and all. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And like always, I'll see you in the next one.
Well, whatever happens, happens.